If you're looking for cheap, safe, and reliable MT, make sure you go check out my new sponsor, safembamt.com. Use code JC2K for 5% off and go build that God Squad you always wanted. Yo, what is good, YouTube, and welcome back to the JC2K video. In today's video, we're going to be doing episode number 18 of I Build Your Teams, the series where I build my followers and viewers' teams into the best teams possible for my team unlimited and or competitive play based on the current team they have, how much MT they have, and what version of the game they play on. So, in today's video, we are going to be going over some teams submitted to me via Twitter, and if you want to be involved in a future episode of this series, make sure you follow me on Twitter. My link is always down in the description box below, and be on the lookout for a tweet about this series on Friday afternoons or evenings, and respond there for a chance to be involved in the future video. But yeah, without further ado, let's hop right into it. Let's take a look at some squads for today's videos. So for today, we have first team comes in from Selen. He 3 hunts. He will take Showtime. Needs to replace starting shooting guard and back a small forward about 450, 500K. I agree. I like Luka and Ben a lot. I like Cam Reddish, Bull, Russell, and Kareem are amazing. Ben Wallace is super solid. James Wiseman is super solid. I would agree that your weakest positions are definitely the shooting guard position and the small forward position. And the way that I would probably look to upgrade this position, to be completely honest, would be to pick up the new LeBron James that can play shooting guard and just pick him up and play him at the shooting guard position. I think at that point you almost have the best starting lineup in the game if you start Ben. I probably would start Ben over Luka personally, but if you love Luka, 100% Luka's a great card as well. But yeah, I would pick up the new LeBron who can play shooting guard and play him right here. He's very close to the invincible LeBron, and he has the eligibility of playing shooting guard. I just think that card's incredible. So I pick him up to replace Jimmy Butler. And then honestly, at the backup small forward position, I would probably not spend any MT. I'd probably just go get Terry Dishinger. I think he's better than Michael Porter. I think he's big enough to play the small forward position, and he's a free option. Keeps you allowed to, I mean, you'll be able to keep at least 200,000 MT still, even after picking up that LeBron. And then you'll have some MT to work with for future content drops and a much better team if you just make those two simple upgrades. Next team today comes in from Thomas. He runs Hawks 2018. He's got 220k MT. KD has Hoff Show, and Danny Ferry has 40 Hoffs on current. Okay, looking at this team, love the starting lineup. Every player in the starting lineup can play at a very high level. Off the bench, I don't like Levine at the backup point guard. I know a lot of people like that card. He's just not for me. He's too small at this point in the year. Michael Porter Jr., again, I'm not a big fan of this card. I think his release is kind of weird. I don't love this card. Chris Webber's solid, actually. At the backup 4, I don't mind him. And then Anthony Davis is decent as well. But the positions that I would probably be looking to upgrade would be your backup point guard position, your backup shooting, or your backup small forward position, and your backup center position, because I'm assuming you want to keep KD. Now, I will say, if you decide you want to sell KD as well, that will free up some more MT. You could do that. But the first thing I would probably do is I would definitely make sure you go out and grind for Cam Reddish. Pretty easy upgrade there, in all honesty. Just to push Cam Reddish to the shooting guard position, you can move Terry Dishinger to the backup 3 if you want to keep KD, or the backup 2 if you want to sell KD as well. With 200k, I mean, in all honesty, I think you have another easy upgrade at the center position by just picking up James Wiseman, start him at center, bring Dino off the bench at the center position, and sell AD. I think if you do that, you've already solved 2 of your issues very quickly by doing that. And then at that point, it's a question of who do you want to get at the point guard position. If you sell KD and you say you're running Cam and Terry at the 2s, you're running James Wiseman and Dino at the centers, you could go get Eddie Curry at the backup 4. You move Chris Webber to the 3. Chris Webber is super solid at the 3. He's big. He'll give you that size that you need at this point in the game. And then at that point, your only hole is the backup point guard position. And then I think you have enough MT. Well, actually, you would definitely have enough MT at that point to go pick up Ben Simmons. And that would give you a lineup of Luka, Cam, Luka, Cam, Danny, Bull, and James Wiseman, and then a backup or a bench of like Ben Simmons, Terry, Chris Webber, Eddie Curry, and Dino. I mean, if you build that team, I think you're looking at a much improved squad for you to run. Next team today comes in from pistonsfan. He's got about 250k. He's pulling Dark Matter KD, so he's going to get more MT. So I'll say he's about 350k. Plays on next gen. Jeremy Grant staying as well for keep the grind. I appreciate it. On next gen, and you want to run Jeremy Grant, totally cool. You're a Pistons fan, makes sense to me. Dino and Mirasan are great on next gen. I know people love this Mirasan card on next gen. He's a complete cheeseball. Russell and Wiseman also really good. So I think your bigs are fine. Jeremy Grant, Terry are good. Levine and Mitch Richmond, this is definitely where I would be looking to upgrade, is that point guard position. And then Jimmy Butler and TJ Warren. So, easy upgrade. First one, just go get Cam Reddish, plug him in at the shooting guard position, and then bring Terry off the bench, or even run Cam Reddish off the bench and start Terry if you prefer Terry. But definitely go get Cam Reddish to replace Joey Butler. And then at the starting or backup small forward, really either one. It's kind of up to you, I think. On next gen, I'd probably go get a guy like probably Anton Jameson. He's not super expensive at this point in the game. Still an elite card, especially on next gen with his XM base. He's an incredible option. And you can run him off the bench for TJ Warner. You could even start him and bring Jeremy Grant off the bench. It's really up to you. But that would definitely make sure to make that upgrade as well. So Cam Reddish into Anton Jameson. And then at that point, you'll still have, I would say, 250 KMT. You're basically swapping KD for a guy like Anton Jameson. And then I'm looking to upgrade this point guard position. And the way that I would do that on next gen, I would go out and get Ben Simmons or Ben Simmons and Luka. If you can grind this Luka card out, I would 100% recommend getting Luka. He's free. He's not hard to get, especially this season. It's definitely not hard to grind the XP for him. So I'd probably go out and get Ben Simmons and Luka. And at that point, you're looking at a comp level squad if you make that happen. If you don't want to grind Luka, just go get yourself a one-son Celt. He's really cheap. Super good budget option. He can hold it down at a very high level on both ends of the court. So Ben Simmons and Wes Unseld at that point guard position. But if you make those few upgrades, you're looking at a super solid squad. Next team today comes in from Aaron. He's on current, going to sell Invincible LeBron. You have Invincible LeBron? Wow. In addition to this one, yeah, you should definitely sell Invincible LeBron. So you should have close to 1.6 mil MT. This team actually looks very similar to the team that I'm running right now. It's not the same, but I definitely see the same idea here. And with a team like this, I included this team in the video to talk through a couple things. Because first of all, when you have 1.6 mil MT after selling your Invincible LeBron, or even if it's 1.5, with a squad like this, you obviously don't have to upgrade anything. I think you have the two best point guards in the game. Ben and Aker are my two favorite point guards. LeBron and Kawhi, two best shooting guards. I agree. Bull and Terry, again, super solid. The way I'm probably running my team is I'm running Cam over Terry because I prefer Terry, Cam, but I know a lot of people prefer Terry, so I'm totally cool with that as well. I think your 1 through 3s are absolutely incredible. Bill Russell, he needs to play. He's free. He's absolutely incredible. Kareem, best center in the game, 100%. But then I look at these other two spots, and I think with the amount of MT you have, I would probably, just me personally, Giannis is just not a card for me this year with his release on very quick. He's just not. I would rather sell him and get a guy like David Robinson. But if you love Giannis, go for it. And honestly, if you love Giannis and you want to run him at that starting power forward position, you prefer him over Bill Russell, then go for it. But then at that backup center position with the amount of MT you have, I would go out and get a guy like David Robinson to play that backup center. Or even if you don't want to get D-Rob, go get James Wiseman. He's better than Eddie Curry, and he's got better SIGs. I love his jumper. It's not quite as good as Eddie Curry's, but he's definitely got the improved dribble SIGs. I feel like overall he moves better on the court. But with a team like this, you have the flexibility to be able to go out and really do whatever you want. But I think this is a very good team. And then I just don't know how I would feel about Giannis. But if you love Giannis, 100% go for it. And then at that backup center position, I would definitely look to get an upgrade with a guy like David Robinson, James Wiseman, or even Joel Embiid. One of those three guys. But everything else I think is super elite on this squad, obviously. Next team today comes in from Duffy. He's on Xbox One. He's got 300 KMT. Point guards are great. Shooting guards are great. Small forwards are great. Power forwards are great. Centers are pretty solid. With 300 KMT and this squad, I'm going to recommend that you do something similar to what this last guy did, which is pick up this LeBron and sell the Invincible LeBron. The Invincible LeBron is 200k more expensive than the regular LeBron. So you're going to sell him and you'll have 500k MT, and you pick up the shooting guard LeBron, you play him here at shooting guard, you bring Kawhi off the bench with Terry at the 3 or Cam at the 3, either one. And then after that, I think you sell Shaq and you buy Kareem. Those are the two upgrades. Get this shooting guard LeBron here. It makes your starting lineup ridiculous. And then sell Shaq and pick up Kareem. And maybe sell Giannis and pick up D-Rob as well. But it's at that point, it's just preference. I think Kareem is significantly better than Shaq. I think the shooting guard LeBron is the best shooting guard in the game, so that's why I would run him there, and then Kawhi and Terry off the bench. But at this point, I don't really think it's necessary. Any upgrades are super necessary except for replacing Shaq with Kareem, because I think there's a significant difference between those two cards. I think Kareem is significantly superior. Next team today comes in from bootgame. He's got about 400k. Height and length is important to squad, as it should be on current. Point guards are elite, shooting guards are elite, small forwards are elite, power forwards are pretty good, and centers are solid as well. Definitely looking at this position, I think your weakest link is this power forward position, or this, honestly, your backup center, because I like Eddie Curry. And honestly, I would probably just start Bill Russell, bring Eddie Curry off the bench, move Wiseman to the bench, and buy Goat Kareem. I really think that's the only upgrade to be made with this squad. I mean, I think that's it. Everything else is great. I really like this team. And with 400k, I mean, I just go out and get Kareem. He's the best center in the game. He's going to make your team significantly better. This Sabonis card, I know he's decent, but he can't compete. He doesn't hold a candle to what Kareem can give you. And I think every other position is super solid. I really think that is the simple, easiest upgrade for you to make on this squad to make it as comp as possible. And I know it's going to cost a lot of your MT, but I think it's worth it. And then final team for today comes in from Andrew. He's got 150k MT on current. And looking at this squad, we got some really good pieces and then some guys who I think you could use some work. Luka's exceptional. I like Tom as well. DeMar DeRozan is basically the dark matter, and I think he's a little bit outdated. I don't hate the card, but I do think he's a little bit outdated. Terry Dishinger, Bill Russell, Eddie, great. Dino is super good. Backup point guard, I loved this Josh Smith card, but I think he's a little bit outdated as well. With the amount of MT you have, though, I would probably go just sell Josh Smith and buy a guy like Wes Unseld. I think would be your easiest upgrade. I think Wes Unseld's a better version of Josh Smith. They both give you defense, but Wes has a better jumper, and he can actually curry side. I think he moves a little bit better on the offensive end of the court. Just I think he's a better card overall. And then other upgrades I would make, I'd probably sell this DeMar and pick up Cam Reddish to start at the 2 for you. I know I've recommended for him for a ton of teams who don't have him, but that's because he's a top 2 or 3 shooting guard, or the top like 3 shooting guard in the game right now, and he's completely free. Super exceptional card, so I definitely pick him up for DeMar. You make those 2 upgrades, those 2 holes have been fixed without spending really any MT. And then I would definitely go out and get James Wiseman as well, so you can start him at center, move Dino to your backup center to replace Gobert, bring Eddie Curry down and have him play your backup power forward. And that solves the Gobert hole, who I don't mind this. I don't hate this Gobert card, but I think James Wiseman's definitely a better version. Again, he's free. And then that leaves you with your still 150, 160 KMT. And you basically swapped Smith for Unseld, who are about the same price, and then made free upgrades everywhere else. And then the biggest hole left is Jonathan Isaac, and I would sell him and replace him again with Anton Jameson. I think Anton Jameson is the best guy to plug into that hole. If you don't love Jameson, then go out and get a guy like Thon Maker instead. He could also plug into that hole at a very high level and give you basically what Jameson would give you, just different jumpers. It's all, I think, preference there. But they're similar cards, and I really think they both are significant upgrades over Jonathan Isaac. So that is going to do it for this episode. As you can see, a lot of free upgrades today. Make sure you're doing your spotlight sims. Even if I didn't rate your team today, make sure you got guys like Cam Reddish, Terry Dishinger, James Wiseman filling holes in your lineup. Eddie Curry, same thing. Those 4 guys specifically are the guys to be making sure they fill your lineup because they will save you MT in other spots of your team. Make sure you're doing the spotlight sims. But also, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe to help me push towards the 2,000 subscriber mark on the channel. We just hit 1,900 subscribers like yesterday, and the growth on the channel has been ridiculous. Last few days, we gained like 200 subscribers in the last like 3 days, I think, which is crazy. Y'all have been really showing a lot of love, and I really appreciate it. But if y'all haven't, make sure to subscribe so we can push towards that 2,000 mark very, very soon. Trying to hit that. I was trying to hit it by the end of July, but I think we can hit it by the middle of July. So if we can hit that in the next week, that'd be super cool. But I appreciate all the support, and I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon. I appreciate y'all. Peace.